What's up, YouTube? I have a profile interview assignment I have to do. So I'm choosing to interview Alex. You guys all remember Alex, right? Uh, yeah. So we're just gonna kick things off here.
Hold on. Before we start, I need to put on my interview hat.
There it is, right there.
Hold on. Yeah, gotta get it extra comfy.
Extra comfy. Okay, first question. I'm going to be writing down answers also because I have to turn in this assignment. It's actually 2 days late, so I'm losing 20% credit on it.
This guy.
Okay, here we go.
Better than losing 100% credit, though, right?
This is true. Alex, you are someone that enjoys nature very much. What would you say gives you such a strong connection to nature?
You know, honestly, I'm not sure I could pinpoint it to any one thing, but I'd say my enjoyment or love for science and things like that probably has a big part to do with it, because I'm pretty interested in chemistry. And if you go out in nature, you're not necessarily seeing any chemistry directly, but
Yeah.
you see trees and plants and everything, and you know that there's some pretty crazy chemistry going on the inside, behind the scenes that we can't really see. So I guess when I'm out in nature, I just appreciate seeing all these different things like trees
Yeah.
and various plants, animals, and like the ecosystem operating together as a whole. And it's very cool to me to basically just observe those systems and know that they're so complicated and that they just kind of work, like nature just figured out all this complex stuff on its own.
Yeah. So do you think that if you had less of an understanding of the way that these natural systems interact, that you would enjoy nature less?
Probably, although I can't say for sure, because there's definitely just something that's indescribable about the feeling I get when I'm out in nature. Like, for example, I climbed Glacier Peak this summer, and I was almost to the top, but I was just super beat, and I wanted to go back down, and it had just been like a hard day, but I decided to push the last little bit and go to the top. And once I was within, reaching distance of the summit, and I realized I just had a couple more steps to go, some feeling just overcame me, and all the tiredness went away and everything, and I was just excited to be there.
You're just fueled by the outdoors.
Yeah, I guess so.
Cool. All right, next question. Alex, you love snowboarding. What do you think draws you to snowboarding so much as a sport, as an activity?
I think
What makes you love it so much?
there's a couple different things. One of the things I really love about snowboarding as a sport is that it's very, what's the word? It's like something you can independently, what's the word? You can, like, show your own style. Like, anyone can snowboard in their own way. Like, there's different types of tricks.
It's customizable to you.
Yeah, exactly. There's different kinds of tricks you can do on a snowboard, but two people could be doing the same trick and do it completely differently. And I think that's extremely cool that you get to, like, show yourself or express yourself. That's what I was looking for. It's in a sport in which you really get to express your own creativity and everything. And the other thing I love about it is that it just feels good to progress. Like, it's one of those things where you start out, you can barely link your turns together. Then eventually you can turn, you can go fast, you can go down the harder trails, and you start learning tricks in the freestyle park. And the feeling you get when you land a new trick is almost like a drug. It's just such a good feeling, and it makes you just want to keep going and keep learning new tricks so you can keep getting that feeling.
Hell yeah. That's an awesome answer. All right. Moving on from that, you are currently studying, I think you have a double major here, right?
Yeah.
What is your double major right now?
So I'm studying ecological engineering, and then I'm studying chemical engineering.
Okay. And what is it that draws you to engineering? Do you think it's kind of the same thing you were talking about earlier in nature, where you're like seeing the way that natural systems interact, or is there something beyond that?
I'd say it's that, yeah. And I'm also somebody that really enjoys math. Like, I think math is super cool. I took a math class that I had to for my major, that was called Applied Differential Equations.
Whew.
And like we had to do some hard stuff, but
Class
the
is so
coolest
hard.
thing the coolest thing I walked away from that class with was the realization that literally anything can be modeled as a mathematical equation if you have like enough variables or whatever.
Like data and yeah, to like
Yeah.
analyze.
Which that's crazy to me that like technically you could make up an equation that like says how likely you are to, I don't know, like drink a certain amount of water.
Does that make your life feel more meaningful or more meaningless, knowing that you could craft all these variables that are interacting in your life into a mathematical equation?
I'd say it makes my life more meaningful because it just shows how cool the universe is, even the everyday mundane parts of it that everyone takes for granted. Like eating food in the morning, you know, that's
Yeah.
very mundane. Everyone,
But like
I would
all
assume
the
most
variables
people-
that are actually going into it, like what you're picking out of your fridge and what your body needs,
Yeah,
and what you're
and-
actually choosing to eat.
and then like once it goes into your body, how like certain parts of the food are like a certain chemical, so they're reacting in your body a certain way. Other
Mhm.
ones are reacting in a completely different way. And it's a mundane thing that you don't even think about, but it's so incredibly complex.
Yeah. So Alex, you're a complex thinker. You're someone who loves the outdoors. You're extremely smart. You're in double majoring in engineering. You're doing all this stuff. What
I
kind
think
of
you're really upselling me
what,
here.
what kind of I'm not upselling you. What kind of job do you think that you're going to end up working in, or would you like to be working in?
You know, I think I'd be okay with quite a few different jobs in the engineering field. That's
Mhm.
one of the things that drew me to chemical engineering is it sounds kind of narrow, but really there's chemical engineering jobs doing all sorts of different things from like making paper to like designing the batteries that go in electric cars
Mhm.
to all sorts of different things. So I think I'd be happy in a lot of different jobs as long as it kind of aligned with the idea of trying to be a better steward of the planet. So for example, I wouldn't want to work in say like a petroleum factory where they're producing gas or something like that.
Okay.
But I'd say ultimately my goal is to work for myself and own my own business, basically having a farm that I use to grow, like, I don't know, let's say hemp, for example, and then using the chemical engineering knowledge that I've learned here to take that hemp and turn it into something useful, like, say, like really strong fibers to be used in, I don't know, making cars or something.
Making something.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I guess just the idea of taking a plant, growing it, and using chemistry to turn that plant into something useful.
Something useful for your own life. So you're kind of into that like sustainability for yourself side
Yeah,
of things.
definitely.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you for coming on the show today. We enjoyed having you.
Thanks for having me.
And that's all, folks.
Alrighty.
Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.